Hello dear students, this is Vishalsa from Ikra High School. Today we are going to study chapter 1 from standard 9th science subject. Our chapter's topic would be matter in our surrounding. Let's read the chapter first to understand it better. As we look at our surroundings, we see a large variety of things with different shapes, size and textures. Everything in this universe is made up of material which scientists have named matter. So today we are going to study about matter. Now before we start matter, we should understand what a matter is. Let's go through the line again. Everything in this universe is made up of material which scientists have named matter. That means everything that you can see or observe is matter. Here the examples are given: the air we breathe, the food we eat, stones, clouds, stars, plants, animals, and even a small drop of water or a particle of sand. So everything is matter. Anything in this universe that has mass and occupies space is matter. So that's the first simple understanding of matter, that something that occupies space and has mass. Now you have to also understand that the Indian philosopher, they were not scientists, they were philosophers. They had some ideas. The idea that they had was, since early times human beings have been trying to understand their surrounding, and this philosopher classified matter in the form of 5 basic elements. The Panch Tattva, that means the material which is formed of 5 things available on earth, that is air, earth, fire, sky and water. All of them combine together and become matter. That was what we call Panch Tattva. According to them, everything living or non-living was made up of these 5 basic elements. Even the Greek philosopher had arrived to similar classification of matter. Now the modern day scientist has evolved 2 types of classification of matter based on their physical and chemical nature. The physical nature of matter shows that it is made up of particles. Just like the philosopher explained that all the things that are made of 5 basic elements are called matter, they also got through one more theory. It was that some believed that matter was a continuous like a block of wood, and from that block of wood small substances and other substances have emerged. While there was another thought also that matter were made up of particles like sand, very minute things. So let's understand how they performed an activity to show that it was made up of minute things. So here is an activity 1.1 where you can find that in a 100 ml beaker, the water is filled half in the beaker, and we have to dissolve some salt or sugar with the help of glass rod. What change do you observe in the water level? Or what happens to that salt? Where does it disappear? Is there a change in the level of the water? So these were the questions that formed the basis that matter is made up of minute particles. You can look over here in the statement that matter is made up of particles, and where there is a spoon of salt or sugar has now spread throughout the water. It's not the whole sugar, it is the particle of sugar that have spread in the particles of water. So this illustration clearly states that the matter is made up of particles. It is not a continuous log of wood, but it is made up of particles of matter. Now you may question how small these particles of matter are. Let's go through one more example to understand it better. Take 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate and dissolve them in 100 ml of water. Take out approximately 10 ml of this solution and put it into 90 ml of clear water. Now take 10 ml of this solution and put it into another 90 ml of clear water. Keep diluting the solution like this 5 to 8 times. Here you can go through the diagram to understand the statement that they have taken 100 ml of water and kept some particles of potassium permanganate in it. When it dissolved, it formed a dark color something like this. From this 100 ml, you have to only take 10 ml of water and that should be dissolved in 90 ml of clear water. So here also it will become 100 ml water but colored water. Again from this flask, that is the third flask, you have to take another 10 ml of water, colored water, and add it to 90 ml of clear water. Still, you will find the color over there. It may be fading, but it won't disappear completely. So what does this experiment explains us? This experiment shows that just a few crystals of potassium permanganate can color a large volume of water. So we can conclude that there must be millions of tiny particles in just one crystal of potassium permanganate, which keeps on dividing themselves into smaller and smaller particles. So from this activity we came to an idea that the particles of matter are very small. How much small? They are small beyond our imagination. We cannot imagine how small they are. They are that much small. Let's go through the characteristics of these particles of matter. Now, the first characteristic that we come to know is that particles of matter have space between them. As you have concluded activity 1.1 and 1.2, we saw that particles of sugar, salt or potassium permanganate got evenly distributed in water. That means the whole water was salty when you add the salt or sweet when you have added sugar to it. And it was uniformly colored when you have added potassium permanganate. So that shows that there was the space between the water particles that was occupied by sugar, salt or potassium permanganate. Particles of one type of matter get into the spaces between the particles of other. And this shows that there is enough space between the particles of matter. Now the second property for the particles are that it continuously moves. Now let's go through some activity to understand it better. In the first activity, that is activity 1.3, you will come to know that an unlit incense stick was put in a corner in our class or somewhere in the room. We can't get that much essence or that much aroma of that incense stick unless and until it is lit up. For smelling that incense stick without lighting it up, we have to go nearer to it. After lighting, the smell gets in all the direction. In activity 1.4, 2 glasses or beakers are filled with water. Then a drop of blue or red ink slowly and carefully should be put along the side of the first beaker and honey in the same way in the second beaker. We do not have to disturb them and put it in one part of the house or the classroom. In both the cases, the observation will be different. In the third activity, we have to drop a crystal of copper sulfate or potassium permanganate into a glass of hot water and another containing cold water. So here also 2 conditions are taken, a water with higher temperature and a water with lower temperature. We do not have to disturb them, we have to simply put the particles in that tumbler. Allow the crystal to settle at the bottom and just conclude your observations. So we had gone through 3 different examples and the observation and the conclusion would be something like this. Particles of matter are continuously moving, that is, they possess what we called kinetic energy. And this kinetic energy increases as the temperature rises. The particles keep on moving faster. So we can say that there is the increase in temperature and the kinetic energy of the particle also increases. In the above three activity, we observe that particles of matter intermix on their own with each other. They do so by getting into the space between the particles. That means every matter has space between their particles, and that is being occupied by the particles of different matter. This intermixing of particles of two different types of matter on their own is what we call diffusion. Now here is the third property of particles of matter, or you can say the fourth property. The first property was particles of matter are very small. Second was they have space between the particles. Third, it moves on continuously, and as the temperature rises, it moves rapidly. Now, the fourth or the third property is particles of matter attract each other. Let's go through the illustrations to understand it better. In activity 1.7, you have to collect three different type of things: an iron nail, a piece of chalk, and a rubber band. We have to try to break them by hammering, cutting, or stretching. And then we have to keep your observations. In activity 1.8, we have to collect some water in a container, and we have to try to cut the surface of the water with our fingers or some substances. Are we able to cut it? Now, there is the reason why the cutting of the water does not happen. In the above three activities suggest that particles of matter have force acting between them, and this force keeps the particle together. We cannot cut the matter in different parts because the particles of that matter hold each other very tightly. The strength of this force of attraction varies from one kind of matter to another.